was a freezing night of March 1922. Near a small German village called Weidhofen, there stood a lonely farmhouse known as Hinterkaifeck. This house was isolated from the village, surrounded by dense forest, snow-covered land, and a silent atmosphere. In this house lived Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecilia, daughter Victoria, 2 little children, and a maid. This family seemed ordinary, but the villagers always felt something strange about them. Many said that strange lights and unfamiliar sounds were often seen and heard near their house at night. Even the first maid had left her job. She had said, "I feel this house is haunted. Someone walks in their yard at night." After she left, a new maid, Maria, was hired. She was happy to start her work, but she had no idea she was walking toward a dreadful end. A few days before the murder, Andreas complained in the village that footprints were seen around his house, coming straight from the forest but showing no sign of return, as if someone had come inside and stopped there. He also said that snow on the attic roof had been cleared, as if someone was trying to enter from above. The villagers trembled hearing this. Some called it imagination, others a joke, but the truth was that a shadow was looming over Hinterkaifeck. One day-old Cecilia told her daughter, "At night I heard footsteps. Someone was standing outside our room." Victoria replied in fear, "But there's only the forest here, Mother. Who would come?" Yet in their hearts, both mother and daughter believed someone was watching them. In the last week of March, the situation became more frightening. Strange noises in the yard at night, footsteps from the attic, doors opening by themselves. But whenever they woke up to check, nothing was found. Andreas told a friend in the village, "Maybe someone wants to take over our land. Or maybe it's something else." Meanwhile, maid Maria also began to have strange dreams. She said she repeatedly saw a dark shadow standing at her bedroom door. The next day, when she arrived at the house, she told her sister, "Something is wrong here. I feel this is my last day." The villagers thought Hinterkaifeck was just an ordinary farm, but inside it, a silent fear was spreading, a fear that comes before a great storm. The last day of March arrived. It was a dark night, the cold wind of the forest shaking the trees. Inside the house, everyone fell asleep, but no one knew that with their dreams, their lives too were about to shatter. On the evening of April 1st, 1922, an eerie silence hung over Hinterkaifeck. Villagers often saw smoke rising from the house or heard the children's voices, but that day, it was as if death had descended there. Late that night, someone stepped into the large yard. The wooden doors creaked, and the sound of heavy boots echoed inside. The family was asleep in their rooms, but perhaps none of them heard the sound. Or maybe they did, but lay frozen. The killer, or killers, first targeted Andreas. He might have stood up hearing the noise, but the attack was so sudden and merciless that he fell writhing on the ground. Cecilia also came out hearing the commotion. She too was struck down brutally with an axe. Then Victoria and her little daughter were dragged there and silenced one by one with the same blows. In the dark yard, one body after another fell. Blood froze on the snow. The killer showed no hurry, as if everything was carried out according to a plan. After this, the killer entered the house. There, 2-year-old Joseph was murdered in his cradle. Maid Maria hid in her room, but the killer found her too. He blocked the windows with clothes so no one could peek from outside, and with a single blow ended her life. The whole house was covered in death's shadow, but the most terrifying part was that the killer did not leave immediately after the murders. Evidence showed that he stayed inside the house for several days. He cooked food, fed the animals, even kept the fire burning at night. As if he had made the deserted house his own, as if nothing had happened. For 4 days, no one noticed anything, but when the children stopped going to school and the milkman found the door closed, the villagers grew suspicious. Finally, on April 4th, a mechanic came to repair something in the house. He saw a strange silence and found the doors unlocked. When the villagers entered, they faced a scene that shook their very souls. In the barn, beneath hay, 4 bodies were piled on top of each other. The blood had dried, and their faces were smashed with the axe. Fear was still visible on Cecilia's frozen eyes. Inside the house, the children and the maid's bodies lay in separate rooms. The whole village was in shock. An entire family had been wiped out in a way no one could have imagined. Police were called immediately, and the investigation began. But the investigation itself turned into a terrifying puzzle. No valuable belongings were missing from the house, which meant it wasn't robbery. The killer had fed the animals and eaten meals, meaning he stayed after the murders. No screams of the family were heard, even though the house was on the forest's edge where sound traveled far. The most chilling detail was that little Cecilia, 7 years old, had not died instantly. Evidence showed she had lived for several hours after her injuries, clutching hay and dirt with her tiny hands, fighting against death. The police suspected almost everyone in the village. Some believed it was due to an old feud. Some said it was linked to Victoria's secret relationships, but all remained questions. No answers came. The axe used in the massacre was also found hidden inside the house, but it bore no clear evidence. This case soon became famous across Germany. Newspapers called it the most horrific murder. People came from far away just to see the house, but the killer was never found. Time passed, but the same questions remained. Was the killer a stranger who came from the forest? Or was it someone close, who knew the family's private affairs? Was it the work of a madman who lived with them after the murders? The story of Hinterkaifeck remains a chilling mystery to this day. The house was eventually torn down, but people still say footsteps can be heard on that land at night. Some locals claim they can still hear little Cecilia's screams in the wind. This murder was never solved. Neither the killer was found, nor the true reason. Only fear remained. The fear that grips anyone who looks at lonely houses near the forest. If you liked this terrifying story, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to our channel so you can be the first to watch more dreadful and thrilling stories. Do tell us in the comments what topic you'd like to see in the next video. We'll return soon with another scary tale. Until then, take care of yourself.
Ha 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 ha!